Thank you. We have to keep in mind and keep up our spirits about the work that we do. So we aim to play, lift every voice, and sing at every meeting to remind us, encourage us, and inspire us to continue to do this work. Since we have a presenter who does not have a lot of time to spend with us, I want to jump right into introducing you to our Education Committee Chairperson, who will then introduce our guest presenter. Our Education Committee Chairperson is Dr. Leah Owens.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure and the branch's honor to have Newark Board of Education President Dawn Haynes here tonight to speak with us about what is occurring in the district. But before we jump into that, I would like to read her bio. So Dawn Haynes was born in Newark, New Jersey, surrounded by a family full of colorful personalities. She was held together by love from a great-grandmother who migrated to the north from South Carolina. She was raised in a brownstone across the street from St. Michael's Hospital, to one of the first Black families to own a property in that area. Her young parents, Karen Haynes and Keith Anderson Barker, were thrilled with this beautiful, well-mannered little girl. Dawn attended several schools and graduated from William H. Brown Academy and later Malcolm X Shabazz High School in the year 2001. During her time in high school, Dawn was introduced to the ROTC program and later joined the U.S. Air Force. Since her grandparents were both veterans, they took pride in her career choice. After her time in the Air Force, she enrolled and later graduated from Lincoln Technical Institute as a certified electronic systems technician. She was the first Muslim woman working as a technician for DirecTV. Hard work, dedication, and fearlessness were admirable traits for Dawn as she installed satellites. Family and community ties were very important to Dawn. The loss of her stepbrother and several peers to gun violence were more than enough to encourage her to do something. Dawn knew there was much more she had to do in her community to help change the conditions. Community work was as natural as breathing to Dawn. Dawn was elected to be the district leader for South 36. The Newark Anti-Violence Coalition, which is comprised of activists, community leaders, and residents who are on the move to politicize and awaken the consciousness of Newark, was an organization that Dawn felt was a perfect fit. The organization afforded Dawn the opportunity to travel to different conferences and engage in dialogue with like-minded people from all over the USA. Happily married, a mother of 3 daughters, all being educated in Newark public school system, Dawn has been on the front line of education equality for all. As the PTO president of Harriet Tubman Elementary School, many battles have won: new floors for the gym, community cleanups, collaborations with Missions Inc. for the painting of the walls, and recruiting celebrity readers to promote literacy were just a fraction of her accomplishments in the last 3 years. Dawn is looking forward to doing a phenomenal job on the school board, as she has been doing, and again, was recently in May, I believe, officially elected by her peers on the board as the president of the Newark Board of Education. So again, welcome, Madam President Haynes. Again, thank you for joining us, and I'm going to jump right in to the questions, which first and foremost, please tell us about the opening of school. We know it started on Tuesday. How are the children? What are the protocols? What have you observed about our school district opening up?
Good evening. Thank you, thank you, Gregory, and you, Dr. Owen. Dear admirers, I'm very grateful for our president. Now, our reopening, it has been a very interesting time. We prepared, we had plenty of meetings to go over what it is that our expectations was. And I did not hear a lot of complaints, and I have been keeping on post on social media specifically, because that's what we go to vent at, for the most part as parents. And between COVID testing and the screening, it's different. It's definitely something that we are working towards, making sure that it's as comfortable as possible in an uncomfortable situation. I definitely advise parents to get there early. Like today was raining. From what I heard, the superintendent gave our principals an earful on how to navigate that the next time around. So between the symptoms screening and the temperature check and the feet sanitizing and the hand sanitizing and everyone wearing a mask and then adults reminding students to not wear it, below the nose and making sure that they're completely covered. But as to day 3, we had a couple of hiccups. For the most part, I think we're going. As a parent, I'm like, okay, I need the app so you're not waiting in line, that you guys can get symptom screening on the app, and try to make it as easy as possible. And we had pretty attendance. One of the things that we were working on, and I think this may be the 3rd or 4th year, was the Give Me 5 campaign that the superintendent has in place, where he sent 5 names and numbers to all of the staff and the board members to call and just say, hey, first day of school is, and I hope your kid have a good year, just really encouraging each other, because my motto, we don't do it when somebody else.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. Is there anything more you can say in terms of the protocols? I know you talked about I believe it's called the ingress. We got the ingress and the egress, coming in, leaving out. But in terms of social distancing, I know you talked about masks or the clear barriers. Like, are those sorts of things in the schools? Is there anything to tell us about that?
No, yes. The blockers, I think that's really preventative to the best of our ability under the constraints of what we're dealing with. I recently posted something that one of my good friends put up, how she has her own headset so that people can hear her. It's like a microphone and over it, and you can have eye contact. And it just made me realize, not only as a parent, but of course as the president of the Board of Education, looking at other ways that we can really support our teachers in those situations, especially when we are doing the smaller classroom sizes. But the sound that comes off of the purifier in the room is rather loud as well. So, really taking those things into consideration, because I can imagine that that's a bit much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So next, I want to ask you about goals. So are there any particular goals that the board is focusing on, or goals of the strategic plan that you'd like to share with the broader community? What's the focus? In addition to, of course, being safe and healthy in terms of COVID, but what else is the board and the district paying attention to?
Yes. So as I mentioned to you before, I am an admirer of the work that you have laid down, the groundwork, and equity is huge on my board goals. This year, that is what we are focusing on, making sure we pushing some of the policies that may not have gotten the first reading or second reading, that's been sitting kind of stagnant, like making sure we push those out fully. And we're beginning to develop the policy at our retreat in May. And it's our goal to have it ready by the end of the year. And it may seem like a long time, but it's important that we get this right. I have some of my board colleagues that are dedicating time, like man hours, to really getting this policy. We're comparing policies from other places to really get a stronghold on an equity policy that makes sense for the city of Newark, that we're not leaving out or undermining anything that's happening. And everybody will hear more about it as it gets closer. We are looking to do some of the listening sessions, as we have been doing throughout the year, for the last 2 to 3 years anyway, throughout our parent engagement committee. So we can really have a pulse on what our families feel and how we can make it better, especially considering the strategic goals that are in place for the district itself, and making sure that we are aligning our priority and our board goals with that as well.
Great, thank you. Is there kind of a ballpark start time for these listening sessions, like October, mid-October? Do you have any particular dates yet?
So I will be sitting into their committee meetings this month, for the month of September, and we'll have it out and I would definitely appreciate the promotion from NAACP because I know how important they are. I know we did the Zoom meetings and we really talked about the important stuff because as board members, you know, I think sometimes people have their own interpretation of what it is that we do, and giving them a more personable conversation and putting things into a different context in a more relatable way. So I appreciate those community meetings.
Great, thank you. So again, like you said, you'll be in on the committee meeting. So I'm imagining at the board meeting at the end of the month, we'll be able to hear, the public will be able to hear more about these dates and specifically when it'll start. All right, awesome. And I know the district's website keeps that information up to date as well. So I guess as soon as it's done, that's another place folks can look. So my last kind of scripted, if you will, question, and then for the remainder of the time, other branch members, if you have questions, feel free to put in the chat, or maybe Madam President will moderate if you want to come off the mic and ask your question. But Amistad, can't say it enough. It is a priority of this education committee as well as other committees, the state conference as well. So we definitely would like to know, what is that looking like in Newark? We are about 20 years in on that law being passed. The very beginning of this year, January, more background for other folks who may be listening than yourself, President Haynes, but in the January, that law was re-upped, if you will, to make sure that it actually had a line item on the state level, so it would be getting funding. It was actually kind of taken out from underneath the Department of Education so it can have more autonomy. So some folks believe that that is something that's going to make the implementation of Amistad more robust. So yes, can you please tell us about the Newark District's initiatives, what's that's looking like?
Yes, ma'am. So just for full transparency, the Newark Anti-Violence Coalition, one of our demands was for Amistad to be implemented into our school district. So as you can imagine, this is one of those things that I hold near and dear to me, is making sure that it is done and not in a way that is infused with other things, right? So I want to make sure that it's extremely clear. My goal is to make sure that that's not the case. But the Office of English Language Arts, they partnered with Mr. Junius Williams, and everybody knows Mr. Williams. He is our historian. He is a former SNCC advocate, and they've been working on integrating the ELA and social studies unit to make sure that the students have proper contextual knowledge, right? So I know, like throughout the United States, there's a lot of pushback on people learning our history, right? Like, I don't understand why, but it is, for whatever reason. It's not really our thing here in Newark, but we are integrating enslaved resistance and freedom. And the update on that is, it is Life in Africa Before Enslavement, Positive Images of African Civilization, the Nat Turner Rebellion, the history of jazz and blues. When it came to the indigenous people, we did MISO, American Civilization, European Colonization, and the Almanac. So, and the smile came from my fourth grade, and this is an important part of me having chosen this out of district, because I can say one thing as the board president, what I'm presented with, but for my daughter to come home yesterday with an assignment on MISO and her wanting to know where it's at, and once we visit Mexico, could we see, right? That means more to me than people will ever understand, knowing that we're actually working on that. Some of the other things that we're looking at is the Constitution, representation in Congress, the Dred Scott case, art of storytelling as trial lawyers do, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, and initiating change, the Emmett Till and Claudette Colvin sit-in movement, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee for SNCC, and Cesar Chavez and Immigration. So I do know that with the museum coming and us working on this with the Office of Program and Instruction, it also works hand in hand with some of our community organizations that do this work as well. So I'm excited about all of that.
Great, Thank you. Thank you. So at this point, if there's any questions from the membership, again, feel free to put that in the chat, or if you want to come off your mic. So while we're waiting for that, I just wanted to underscore how I appreciate you saying Claudette Coleman's name, and related to the civil rights movement sit-ins, because we have, right, as a country, we hear the same names over and over and over again every school year. It's the same folks, the same folks. So to start to bring in more of those people who played a role, and I would hope also that the NAACP gets highlighted, because it is a very important organization, right? Got a T-shirt on. In just the role of
one that was really, like, there was really the Native American assimilation with Christopher Columbus and the Tiano relation and the impact of propaganda stereotypes in art. I had a whole thing. I remember you were in that meeting with me, remember, and I was like, I don't want my children learning Christopher Columbus discovered anything. And during colonial times, this is an unrealistic curriculum. They changed it. And I am grateful for that, as I am able to see the actual effect of what we do behind those doors in those 4, 5, 6 hour long meetings.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that as well, because I definitely have had some things to say about that, but I digress. Questions?
I actually have a question on the side of the social emotional learning. Chairperson Haynes, I know that is something the SEL keeps coming up at the various meetings. And it's not going to be any one fix that makes everything okay socially, emotionally, and help the kids to adjust to having been out of school for almost 2 years. Are there any special initiatives that you're aware of that the board has, adjusted as policy or is advocating as a beginning of us addressing the social emotional issues that our students have, our teachers have, just everyone right now? The pandemic is still here. So I don't know whether there's something that you are able or to share with us that looks at that from a special lens.
Yes, ma'am. So board member Adorian Murray Thomas, this is one of her goals as well. I know how important it is to us as a board, but specifically to us who have a different lens in community work, making sure that we have counseling services, right? So we have a great relationship with the Office of Violence Prevention with the City of Newark, and they provide social workers as well. Then we have relationships with places like Imagine if someone lost someone, so they have grief counseling, and the staff development for our social workers have increased so that they know how to deal with this differently. I do advocate for mentorship for our students because although we are in a time where everyone is dealing with this at the same time, our children are dealing with this in a different way. And then providing them with that extra, if it's something we can do to help you, or what's going on, how can I support you? And then taking on that initiative, not just as board members or public school staff, but just as community members, right? Like just being there and offering programs and knowing the resources that the city provide or that the county provides, and making sure that families, that they have access to them. And I think that that's where one of the things that I want to see change or go in a stronger direction is communication, right? Making sure that we're getting this information to our parents and getting it to our students, and letting them know that these things are available, specifically dealing with social emotional.
So you're thinking about something like, say, a clearinghouse where interested parties can go to find out what's available. Is that something?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. With the Office of Violence Prevention, that is one of the specialties that is there. Like, I don't know if anybody else is familiar, but even with our police interaction, we graduated social workers with our police for the first time, probably in the history of the United States of America, because we understand our people are in a different level of stress. So, having reliable people come out that are trained professionals to deal with these things, and even with our students, letting them know that everything don't have to be punitive because there's something that may need to be addressed. So the clearinghouse, I know one of the spaces besides the Office of Violence Prevention, with the Brick City Peace Collective, that's also out of Mayor Baraka's office. There is a group, at least 17 organizations associated with this coalition that assist with different needs that the city has, but specifically for our students that sometimes don't get the respect due or the attention due. Oh, and Newark Mentors definitely advise people to check Mr. Owens out for mentoring services for students.
Can you either circle back with us and give us telephone numbers that we can share with our viewers about places where they can call, like the Office of Violence Prevention or the Brick City Collective, in the event that they want to talk to someone direct? And is there a counterpart on the board side where if a parent or even a high school student was having issues, and maybe is there a protocol? Should they call their school first? Is there a central number that they can call to get help?
Yes, and the Newark Board of Education offers services as well. Through the department, the head of that department is Ms. Carolyn Granado, and they specialize in those type of things as well, right? Like when grief counseling. So with the Brick City Peace Collective, you can go to brickcitypeacecollective@gmail.com and send an email, or telephone number 201-618-7907. The Office of Violence Prevention is inside of City Hall in room B5. Also, I would definitely advise the Shani Baraka Center, and we're opening up satellites in some of our schools because domestic violence is one of those things that it hurts to talk about it. It hurts to know that some of our young and older people are dealing with it, not just women, but men as well. And then knowing that there are services that we can provide. The Shani Baraka Center is at 300 Clinton Avenue.
Okay, and what was the name of the department for Ms. Granado? Because I'm going to put all of these in our comments so that people will be able to pull from them. What is her
office? I want to say the Office of Student Life.
Okay. All right. So we're going to share with our constituents the information for the Office of Violence Prevention, the Brick City Peace Collective, the Shani Baraka Resource Center, and of course, the Office of Student Life. We need to get this information out as many ways as we possibly can. We can't ever think that, so we'll put it on Facebook, that's the only way. There are so many needs and so many ways that we have to reach people so that they can get the information and use the tools that are available to them.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I know we have come up on our time, and I definitely want to thank you, but I did want to try to do this in 30 seconds because I know we have plans. I know as a district, I know we've come a long, 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 long way, especially getting back local control. But, I still have, as others on the call, I'm sure as well, have connections to folks in the schools. And I just have to say there are issues that continue to need to be addressed, including class sizes, situations with our teacher vacancies and the teachers that we do have being asked to cover classes and being overworked, and thinking about this just being the third day of school is not something that we want to see as a trend. So I just know that information. I can't not say it. I mean, it's something we'll continue to follow up on and pay attention to as an education committee, and we will continue to be in communication with you and the other board members as we have been. We appreciate you being responsive, but we're going to be on top of it, especially that class size issue. You know,
Yes,
that's
yes.
one of my things. So,
And please,
so thank you.
we get it. I mean, I know some things fall through the cracks, but please bring it to our attention, because the great thing about Newark Board of Education is there is a hierarchy, and the person that I'm responsible for making sure to do his job is the person who is selected to be in.
I'm sorry. Clap, clap, clap. I'm so glad you're saying that, because people don't understand the superintendent. Much love for Roger Leon, but in general, the superintendent works for the board.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, that was something that was drilled in my head. It's not your job to come up with the how, it's your job to come up with the what, Dawn. What do you want to see happen? It's their job to figure out how.
Exactly.
So yes, when things are wrong and things are not going the right way, when food looked less than appetizing, I had a whole conversation outside of Shabazz today with some of the kids. I was like, join the student council so your voices can be heard, or support the young lady who's running for it, so she'll have a list of demands, or she'll have a list of expectations based on her student population. So empowering our children to be great. Hearts go out to Roberto. I didn't not want to mention it because I know that some of this work, I call on his energy. I call on his vibration.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again for coming and talking with us. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your service. And we just continue to pray for a healthy and learning school year, full of learning.
Can I ask, just before you hop off, you made a reference to that new policy about students being a part of their own decision-making and their own future. Can you just briefly give just a brief insight into what policy the board just passed that will empower students?
Yes, so the amazing, very smart Mr. David Dorsey, we had a conversation about students having a voice, right? Like, to me, it is very important. As adults, we don't understand some of the very intricate details that they understand about everyday schooling, right? So the school council, and it's a part of the strategic plan, right? It should be one in every single school, and they should meet with each other, because that's where equity comes into play. If you put kids in a circle together and someone is getting what this one is not, now it's a conversation that needs to be had for adults to figure out. So with that being said, making sure that they have a space that's protected and that their voices can be heard in a very welcoming way. So that policy is very important, and council board member Hassani Council worked very hard on it as well, but making sure that every school have a student government so that they can have a voice at the table, and that's what was important. Yes, we have a student representative, but it's almost impossible for her to visit every school to get the issues. No, we bring everybody to her so that they can have a meeting, because that's a part of organizing. It's meeting of minds.
Thank you. Thank you for starting our school year off by coming and presenting, and all of the information has been placed in the chat. We look forward to you coming back, certainly before the school year is out. And how many board members can be in the same room without it being considered a quorum?
Or we can have 4 without it being a quorum.
Okay, all right. Because I think, what we would like to do is perhaps have some of the chairs of some of the committees accompany you the next time as well. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It will be an honor, and I appreciate the invite. So just let me know when, and I'll try to maneuver my schedule just a tad bit different, so I can give you as much time as this amazing organization needs.
And thank you for being a member of the NAACP, Newark, New Jersey.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Like, is it really for junior?
We're going to go on with our meeting and tell you how you can get more involved with this branch. We are actively engaged in being advocates in our community, for our community, and providing information. And there's the NAACP is comprised of branch leaders who tend to be the leads of various committees, and that's where the work is done. The work is done in the committees. We come to you on the second Thursday of the month to give you the information about what we've been doing so that you can be aware and you can participate, as well as bring information to you as well. So we're going to start with some of our committees that have upcoming events starting next month, October. So I want to start first, since we've been talking about education and our theme has been education, I want to stay with education and call on our Education Committee Chairperson, Leah Z. Owens.
Good evening again, everyone. I'm gonna turn the timer on. I only got 4 minutes. So the Education Committee met on Tuesday, August 17th from 5:30 to 6:30. We meet on the third Tuesday of the month. And again, we continue to meet via Zoom. So our next meeting, I'll say that now, will be Tuesday, September 21st at 5:30. Please reach out to us via Facebook, email. The committee itself has an email address, education.newarknwaacp@gmail.com if you want to reach out directly to myself. Starting with the action item, we are looking for volunteers from our members, as well as other folks who might want to be involved. And we definitely would like more people to become members of the NAACP. And if you'd like to be a part of the education work, you are welcome to this committee. But we are looking for members to volunteer to conduct read-alouds in the schools that we are, quote unquote, adopting, meaning just creating a partnership with them. And we're also looking to have folks be a part of book clubs that we also want to help sponsor and organize in some of the schools around the district. The last thing I'll say is just the issues of the committee. We have a local issue and we have a state issue. Our local issue, again, is about adopting schools. So again, creating direct relationships with school communities so that we can support families and staff as the NAACP branch here in Newark. And our state issue is Amistad implementation. We are looking to kind of create a community curriculum, if you will, to be in alignment. Well, not necessarily alignment, because I think maybe there's some things we want to do the district might not be necessarily doing, but to supplement, in a sense, what's going on in the district. For example, just real quick with the read alouds, we do want to focus on reading Black authors, for example, and local Black authors, if we can get that, a good list of them. So that is our quick report. Again, third Tuesday of the month. Our next meeting is Tuesday, September 21st via Zoom, 5:30 to 6:30. And you can reach out to the branch if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you, Committee Chair Owens. And I'm going to keep going to our Civic Engagement Committee.
Good evening. On behalf of the branch's Civic Engagement Committee, I'm pleased to invite our viewers to our first community mass meeting that's scheduled for Thursday, October 14th, during the branch's regularly scheduled monthly general membership meeting. It will be virtual via Facebook Live. And as we know, the governor's seat and all seats in both the Assembly and the Senate are up for election this cycle. Entitled Defending Our Democracy Beyond the Ballot Box, the objective of the forum is to bring awareness of the roles and responsibilities of our three branches of state government, our role as engaged citizens and voters in deciding who represents our interests, and the opportunity, and also the opportunities for us as empowered citizens to remain civically engaged beyond Election Day. We are looking forward to an informative and insightful session that will leave us both energized and motivated to act beyond November 2nd. The Civic Engagement Committee co-chair, my Civic Engagement Committee co-chair, Ali McBride, will moderate the discussion with panelists Michael Strom, Program Director for Leadership Newark, Linda McDonald Carter, Esquire, recently retired Essex County College professor and director of the school's paralegal program, Kimberly Holmes, Esquire, Social Action Chair for the North Jersey Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and Assistant Commissioner and Chief of Staff at the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, and Dele Oladapo, who is the president of the Alpha Alpha Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. The Save the Date flyer has been prepared and will be distributed shortly. We are asking that you share the information, the invitation with your family, friends, community, and respective networks, and plan to join us on Tuesday, October 14th. Check our Facebook page for additional information. And
It's
as we
Thursday.
prepare,
It's Thursday,
did I say Tuesday?
Thursday, October
Yes,
14th.
Thursday, sorry about that. And also as we prepare for the November general election, and also, you know, in anticipation of the upcoming critical federal midterm elections next year, here is some quick dates that may be useful as you prepare yourself and your family. Now, Tuesday, October 12th is the last day in which to register to vote or to make any changes to your current voter registration status in order to participate in the upcoming November election. There might be late night voter registration hours available. Please check with your municipal clerk and county clerk, or visit the Department of Election, the Division of Elections website. That is it for now. Thanks.
Thank you, Deborah. You said the Division of Elections website?
Yes, the Division of Elections website under the Department of Community, yes, Department of Community. No, that's not right, Division of Elections. If you just Google, if you just put that in the search box, search engine, it will pop up.
And also Essex County Clerk?
Yes, the Essex County Clerk, or you can also call for Newark residents, the Newark City Clerk's office.
Okay, I put those in the on Facebook so that people can see them as well. Thank you for that report. So just so that people are aware, October 14th is a Thursday. That would be our annual meeting, the second Thursday of the month. But because we need to share as much information as possible about the importance of voting, getting out to vote, and everything that is related to that, we are foregoing our regular general meeting for a community mass meeting. And that will be held on our Zoom website. It will be Facebook Live at 7 p.m., correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Our next report is health with an upcoming event.
Great. Good evening, Madam President, and all those that are tuning in on Facebook. We, the Health Committee of the Newark, New Jersey branch, will be hosting the NAACP Newark, New Jersey Black Infant and Maternal Mortality Task Force. We invite you to attend our second annual Essex County BIMM event. The topic will be, why are Black mothers and babies dying? It's going to be addressing a double pandemic, COVID-19, and a systematic racism. It's going to be held on Tuesday, September 28th, 2021, from 6:00 p.m. to 8:00 p.m. And just a little bit more information, just to let you know, we have a target audience. It's going to consist of community members, professionals, politicians, community organizations, and the Essex County and beyond who wants to learn more about why Black infant and maternal mortality is important and to help us to take action. Our focus will be both on the progress that we have made since last year's event that was held back in November and the barriers that we have occurred in Essex County related to preventing the Black infant and maternal mortality. And it will also discuss the disparities that have always existed, yet the pandemic highlighted them more during this time, which created a wider gap. And it's going to talk about, and we will talk about the impact of COVID-19 in reference to the BIMM, families, babies, healthcare providers, and communities, as well as the COVID-19 vaccines and the impact that that has on women who are pregnant, as well as birth outcomes. And we will also talk about telemedicine, transportation, and why does prenatal care, and what does prenatal care look like now in 2021, post-height of pandemic. And there will also be hospitals and community organizations present as well. And we will be sending the flyer to the branch so they can share it far and wide. We would love to see you participating in this upcoming event. Thank you for the opportunity to report out on our health committee. And as well as the health committee is also concerned, we meet the first Monday of every month via Zoom at 5:00 p.m. We are looking for willing workers to help get the information out, to help gathering information as well, and just making sure that our community stays in tune. And please reach out to us at 973-624-000 if you would like to participate in our committee. Thank you very much and have a wonderful and safe evening.
Co-chair Johnson, do you have a date for the blood drive? You do?
Oh, yes, ma'am. And also too, for the month of October, we're going to have our second blood donor drive, which is going to be held on Saturday, October 23rd, back at the Priory from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We will have a registration form and a link, so you can go right to the link and schedule an appointment at your convenience. And we would love to see you there. And just to let you know, the NAACP was the first to host a blood donor drive in the mix of the pandemic, and it turned out very successful. And we want to make the second one even better than the first. So we hope to see you there, and don't forget to register. Thank you very much, Madam President.
And once the flyer comes out, we will make sure that it is sent out via Facebook as well as YouTube, so that you can register. We want to have even more people than we had at our last blood drive, which was very successful. And as you are probably aware, blood donations are down. The American Red Cross is asking for blood donors, and specifically donors who have a specific blood type, African Americans who have a specific blood type, to help those who have sickle cell, I believe it's type O, are definitely needed to make a donation of blood. So we just want to thank the health department, for the health committee, for those two events. And please visit us on our Facebook. We put things up here. We want to see you, not just when we're going live, but just periodically check in with us to see what we're up to. Our other committee report is Freedom Fund.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to all NAACP members and supporters. Please mark your calendars. After much thought and deliberation, our Freedom Fund Committee has decided to move the date of our annual Freedom Fund Awards Gala to Saturday, March the 5th, 2022. My brothers and sisters, the pandemic is not over. All of us have heard about the numbers going up. And we, as the Newark branch of the NAACP, is concerned about the health and safety of our members and supporters. Therefore, we have moved the date. Your safety and your health is paramount to us. The new date again is Saturday, March the 5th, 2022. It will be an in-person event at the Robert Treat Hotel in downtown Newark from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stay tuned for more information. Thank you so much for your continued support of the Newark branch of the NAACP. Our next meeting for the Freedom Fund Committee will be held on Monday, September the 20th at 7 p.m. All are welcome. We invite anyone that have interest or in support of helping us have a successful Freedom Fund event. You are more than welcome to join us. Thank you very much. If anyone has any questions or concerns, I'm open to them now. Deborah, did you say something? Because I couldn't hear you.
I was on mute. Thank you,
Okay.
Co-Chair Turpin Merritt, for that report. We are certainly looking forward to gathering and socializing and fellowshipping in person. And hopefully this pandemic will really be behind us. We thought that it would be by now, but we need to encourage folks to wear your mask and to get vaccinated if you haven't. It is definitely a personal choice, but the more people that are vaccinated, it protects us all. So I just wanted to say that. Our other committee announcements, AXO. Colette, are you on?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. So AXO is gearing up to start its 31st year. AXO is a mentoring program for our high school students. The kids can sign up for up to over 32 categories. So if you have a youth in high school, a neighbor, a nephew, a cousin, a child, please get the word out there. We talk about getting our youth involved, and here in our branch, we have an amazing program that they can utilize. Dance, if they sing, acting, all of the sciences. STEM is a very big program, dramatics, oratory, business, filmmaking. We just brought culinary for the first time to New Jersey this past year. There is something for everyone. And even if they don't have a particular interest and they're kind of lost, bring them there. That's the point of it. We have mentors that encourage them to find a passion, find something that, even if it ends up just being a hobby, if not a career, that they can invest into themselves. The other thing that we're looking for is mentors. If your forte is one of those categories, please come out. If you can't invest that much time, but would like to speak to the kids about something, whether it be financial literacy or mental health or anything that these kids this age, especially during the pandemic, could be super useful to them, please, reach out to the branch, or you can email us at newarknjaxo@gmail.com and let us know that you're willing to come on. We meet on Sundays from 2 to 4. We also are virtual currently right now. So you can log in right from your home and give us a few minutes of your time and preach to our youth and encourage them and support them. So our first open house will be October 17th. Again, virtual. And then we'll have another one that following Sunday, both Sundays, on October 24th. For more information on that, we'll post it on the regular branch page, Facebook, as well as our AXO one. So please follow AXO as well on Facebook and Instagram. They're both at Newark AXO. And we'll post our flyer up there. Or you can contact the branch directly, or again, email newarknjaxo@gmail.com. And we'll send send out the Zoom links to the kids then. So even if they just come and find out about it, it's from 2 to 4 every week. It would be awesome for them to kind of just see what we're about, And if you want to come on and tune into, the more adults, the better, please, because we, especially with Zoom, we're splitting into the different rooms with the kids. And so the more help and the more hands-on, even if it's just for a week, it's much appreciated. So thank you.
Thank you, Colette. Colette is currently serving as her second year as the chairperson. And you see from her background that her background is music. And so we are very, very grateful for the work that she has put into this program. And she is an alumnus of the program herself, having won a national medal herself in the category of vocal classical. So I just wanted to give her a shout out and check the program out. We will be posting the flyer. Please share it. Everyone knows a young person. And sometimes our young people need to do other things other than just schoolwork. We mentor, but we're not, it's just different. So come and see for yourself what the program has to offer. Thank you, Colette.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
will Ms. Bell's talents be displayed at our March here event next year?
We can't hear you, Mr. Smith.
Moving right along. We have time to work on that, but moving right along. We want to have announcement from our Religious Affairs Committee.
Good evening, everyone. The Religious Affairs Committee did not meet over the summer. We will be hosting our fall meeting starting October the 16th. We're looking to be in person, but we're going to play it by ear to see how the numbers look going into October. But if we do go in person, we're looking to go to our regular spot that we normally meet, would be IHOP on Bergen Street, October the 16th at 10 o'clock. However, again, we will play by ear on the numbers. If so, we will be virtual, and it will be a Zoom meeting on October the 16th at 10 o'clock a.m. You can call the office at 973-624-6400, and the Zoom link will be there for you to join us, or we will update with the flyer if we will be in person. Also, with the state convention, the State Religious Affairs Committee will be doing a presentation at the convention on Sunday, and it will be a panel of preachers, imams, and rabbis participating. And Madam Chair will give further information on the state convention. And that concludes my report at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Elder Favors. What I want to say that she did not mention is that every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7, the Religious Affairs Committee conducts a prayer line for 1/2 hour every Wednesday. And sometimes you just need to get that midweek boost. You are welcome to come on the line from 6:30 to 7. There is generally a theme that Elder Favors comes up with for the various ones. So sometimes it's women praying, sometimes it's men praying, sometimes it's both of them, men and women praying. But the one consistent issue is that she starts at 6:30 and she ends at 7. And everyone who has come on knows that, so you are more than welcome. I will certainly put the call-in number in the chat. They have not missed a Wednesday in what, a year?
Yes, we started May 20th of 2020, and we have not missed a Wednesday since 2020. And if you don't mind, the phone number to dial in is 609-663-4158. 609-663-4158. And that's a direct line that I just gave to everyone to dial in. And thank you so much, Madam Chair, President, for reminding me. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for the work of that prayer line, because there's still so much trauma and sickness and death that's churning around us. Sometimes we just need to lean on each other. No, not sometimes. Most of the time, much of the time, we need to lean on each other, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is an opportunity to do that. I would like to call our Economic Development Chair. I think she's still on. Tara, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here. Thank you, Madam President, and good evening to all those watching. The Economic Development Committee did not have an August meeting also, but our next meeting will be Thursday, September 15th at 7:30 p.m. We are certainly looking to inviting you to come. We do need more members to move forward the work that we have with on the Economic Development Committee. We are, one of our things that we're looking into, of course, is making sure that people are aware of the guaranteed income program. I think the deadline for applications is coming up really soon. I think it might be September 15th as well for those to apply for that. And then we are finalizing our list of programs and bills that we will be fighting for to ensure that our people in Newark understand and take advantage of all the economic opportunity that's here for them. So looking forward to you coming to our next meeting, Thursday, September 15th at 7:30 p.m.
Thursday, September 16th.
16. Oh, sorry, 16.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no problem, because I want to repeat all of these dates, and I want to make sure that I'm accurate as well. Membership and life membership.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good evening.
Good
Okay.
evening.
Well, the membership, we haven't met during the summer, but we'll have our next meeting September the 21st at 2:30 p.m. And we usually have it on a conference call, so everyone can call in. We try to bring out all the new members and those who want to renew your membership. Please call us, and we need more members. We have several members, but we need more. We have 4 members, but more is the merrier, because we have to get to the whole city, and sometimes we have to get to the others. You can reach us at 973-624-6400, which is our main number at the NAACP, and we will give you our conference number if you want to get on with our conference call for the membership committee meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. I think those are all of our committees. So I just I'm going to do it slowly, but I'm also going to put it in the chat. So in the comment box of the Facebook. So our education committee meets on Tuesday, September 21st, from 5:30 to 6:30. It is a Zoom call. Our civic engagement is having a community mass meeting on Thursday, October 14th at 7 p.m. Our health committee is having a Black infant and maternal mortality town hall. Why are Black mothers dying? On Tuesday, September 28th from 6 to 8. That is a Zoom as well. The health committee meets the first Monday of the month. Their first meeting would be October at this point, and it would be October 6th. They will be meeting at 5:30. The blood drive that the health committee is sponsoring will be Saturday, October 23rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Freedom Fund Gala brunch has been moved from October to March 5th, 2022. The next meeting for the Freedom Fund Committee is Monday, September 20th. Religious Affairs will have their meeting on Saturday, October 16th at 10 a.m. It may be in person. They have not determined whether it's going to be in person or Zoom. It depends on the numbers. The membership committee meets on September 21st at 2:30. It is a call-in number. And Economic Development will be meeting next Thursday, September 16th at 7:30. Oh, and also with Religious Affairs, the weekly Wednesday call from 6:30 to 7:30. The number where you can do a direct call in is 609-663-4158. And for additional information, please feel free to contact the office at 973-624-6400. Please make sure you visit our Facebook page because we will be putting this information up for your use and to share. And I just wanted to make just a few announcements. One of them is that the New Jersey State NAACP virtual convention is September the 16th through the 18th. It is virtual. There's a small admission fee. If you're interested, you can, a flyer went out and another flyer can be posted. Actually, no, you need to go to www.njscnaacp.org. I will put that in the comments so that you can go directly to them and get the information. The other announcement is that there are a few, this is an announcement that I am going to make at every single meeting through 2022. The National Convention is going to be held in Atlantic City in July 2022. So I want to keep saying that because it's our home state. And we welcome your feedback, your input, and more importantly, your participation and your plan to be a part of the National Convention, July 2022. With that, I am going to, if there's no other announcements that any of the chairs want to make before we close out.
Yes. Good evening, Madam Chair.
Good evening.
We didn't hear from the Health Committee or from the Freedom Fund Committee.
Maybe maybe you got knocked off, but they did both present. And I will circle back and send you the minutes with the information that they gave out
Oh,
to.
no, I was on the e-board meeting. I did hear them, but I thought they were going to say something
They
at the
did.
general meeting.
They
They
did.
did. Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I must have got knocked off.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, ma'am. To all those that are tuning in, I would just ask you to keep our eldest active member of our health committee, Mother Belila McIver, in prayer. As 3 Tuesdays ago, she went for open heart surgery. And on Tuesday, the 25th, on her 85th birthday, she also had a pacemaker put in. She is still here. She is still doing. She is currently in Alaris rehab in West Orange. Just keep her in your prayers. Send her a card. Send her some flowers. Let her know that you are thinking about her, because she's definitely thinking about us, even though she's going through. And we appreciate all that everyone is doing to help make sure the Newark branch NAACP keeps going. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would ask Elder Favors, when you close us out in prayer, if we can have a moment of silence for, we've lost so many people within the last time that we met. If we can just say, just have a moment of silence for all of them, that would help.
Yes. Let us just take a moment of silence again, like our Madam President said, for all the individuals that we have lost within our organization, and to the families that are sick with the COVID-19 or have lost someone to the COVID-19. And a moment of silence also for all those that were affected by the flood that took place on last week. A moment of silence. Amen. Most gracious God, we come to say thank you. Father God, we just come to you as humble as we know how, and asking that you continue to keep your hedge and protection around us as we depart from this line, but never from your presence. And Father God, we know that weeping endured for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. So Father God, we just holding on to your everlasting arm, Father God, and knowing that we stand on the promise of you, God, and that your hedge of protection will keep us as we leave this line, but again, from not your presence. And we pray, amen, amen, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, amen, amen.
Just before we leave, is Dr. Marilyn Cooper on the line? Okay, I didn't think so. This concludes our September 9th, 2021 general meeting. We hope that you have gained some information about the school board, about the work of the NAACP. We welcome you. We are the NAACP. It is a group of people. It's not just the few people that you see on this call, on this line. You are the NAACP. And if you're not a member, you can still be the NAACP. We need all hands on deck to address all of the issues that are affecting our community. We want to have a community where there is a quality of life, where there is peace, where there is equity, where there is prosperity, where there's a strong educational system and good health care. We're not asking for much, but we cannot do this work by ourselves. We need you. Volunteers are the backbone of our organization. Every person that you heard from tonight is a volunteer. No one is getting paid. So you need to be aware of that. And we just welcome you to become an actively engaged, empowered member of NAACP, Newark, New Jersey. Have a great evening. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.